Pilates for seniors. Exercise 1. Standing on the mat, your legs adjusted at the width of your hips. Press the joint under your big toe, then the joint under your little toe and the outside of the heel into the mat. And slightly bend your legs and stretch your head towards the ceiling. Your chin is parallel with the mat. It neither sticks out nor it is drawn to your neck. Push your pelvis slightly forward so that your abdomen doesn't bulge and your loins are not slackened. Your legs slightly bent. Try to roll down as if you started to bend over railings in front of you. While rolling down, push the breastbone slightly backwards. Not only your head, but also your chest continually go down, lower and lower with your hands. At the beginning, it is enough to get to the level of your knees. Stay for a while in the farthest point you managed to reach and try to pull the ischial bone towards the heels. Your abdomen gets firmer and the loins stretched. Start returning back by pulling the sacrum to the tailbone towards the mat and then roll upwards again. Then again roll down. The gluteus, buttocks muscles stay free and you can go a bit lower and again stay for a while at the point you managed to reach. Draw the ischial bones towards the heels and then pull the tailbone to the mat and roll up. Repeat several times. Exercise 2. Sitting on the mat, hold your buttocks with your hands and pull them aside so that your tailbone aims towards the mat. Your head above the pelvis, stretch it towards the ceiling. By pulling your sacrum and tailbone towards the mat until they are slightly pushed forward, the backbone stays fixed. Then roll again back upwards. Repeat several times. You can well go lower and lower, but only so far so that you can lift yourself back. Exercise 3. Sitting on the left hip, bend your left arm in the elbow and put the elbow under your shoulder. Your head is stretched in the prolongation of the spine. Leaning against your palm and the forearm, pull your body away from your forearm. Thus your abdomen gets firmer. Your body, the arm, and the mat sit up and right angle triangle. Put the top of your right hand on the mat next to your left hand. The fingers aim at the left elbow and pull your arm along the leaning arm behind your shoulder. Your head and chest rotate with the hand. By pulling your elbow, go back again. Repeat several times and do it to the other side. Exercise 4. Lying on your back, your feet at the width of your hips, stick your chest and the pelvis to the mat, stretch your head and draw the heels near your bottom. Fix the joint under your big toe, another under your little toe, and the outside of the heel. Now push your knees to forward in front of your feet so that the pelvis, your sacrum, and the tailbone will go direction the heels and slightly arch upwards. And then release it. Repeat several times. Exercise 5. Lying on your back, your feet at the width of your hips, stick your chest and pelvis to the mat and stretch your head. The pelvis is in the neutral position. It means that you have a tiny tunnel under your loins. Put your palms on the thighs and start pressing them. You will make your knees aim to the space in front of the tips of the toes. Meanwhile, pull your tailbone and the sacrum towards the heels and arch them slightly up. The loins will get near the mat. Then release them back. All the while, press the palms into the thighs and push your knees forward. Your buttocks stay free and your chest stuck to the mat. It doesn't shift on the mat towards the heels. Repeat it several times. Exercise 6. Lying on your abdomen, stick your chest to the mat. Your head is stretched, your nose on the mat. Bend your arms in the elbows, which are at the level of your shoulders, and your palms are stuck to the mat. Your legs are at the width of your hips. Draw the tips of your toes together, the heels apart. Draw your sacrum and the tailbone towards the heels and arch them towards the mat so that the interpubic joint is coming nearer the mat and you will have a little tunnel under your belly button. Press slightly your palms and the whole forearm into the mat, but the forearm stays relaxed. Stretch your head and imagine that you are a tortoise trying to get out of the shell while you try to lighten your chest by slightly lifting your breast above the mat. And then release it slowly. Repeat it several times. Exercise 7. Shift yourself to the kneeling position. Your knees at the width of the hips. Lean against your forearms, your elbows under the shoulders. Your weight should be distributed both on the knees and on the forearms. But imagine that the weight is somewhere around your belly button. Your head is in prolongation of the spine. It is not bent backward. Press the insteps and the shins into the mat to activate your abdomen. Release slightly your buttocks. Now try to slightly lift one knee above the mat without moving the pelvis, and then release it. Then lift slightly your other knee above the mat and release it. Keep the weight around your belly button. Change your legs and repeat it several times. Exercise 8. Lying on your back, your legs at the width of your hips, fix the joint under your big toe, under your little toe, and the outside heel. Stick the chest and the pelvis to the mat and stretch your head. Pull your tailbone towards the heels so that the loins do not lie on the mat and there is a little tunnel under them. Stretch your right arm sideways with its palms towards the ceiling. Stretch your head and draw the tailbone towards the heels. Stretch the left hand towards the ceiling so that your shoulder gets lifted, the scapula above the mat, and then start rotating your head and chest to the right. Mind your nose is still above your breastbone and the arm motion doesn't come before the chest motion. The distance between the breast and the arm is fixed. Pulling the lower lips, the scapula and the shoulder to the mat, you are coming back. Repeat it several times and alternate your arms. Exercise 9. Lying on your side, your legs stretched, hip above the other hip, shoulder above the other shoulder. Stretch your arms. The lower hand catches the upper hand by the wrist. Mind that you neither bulge your tummy nor your bottom. Stick your waist to the mat and start pulling your legs from the hips away from your body. Don't flex the tips of your toes. Lift slightly your lower leg above the mat. Stretch your arms behind your head, but keep the shoulders away from your ears. Hold on for a while and then release it and repeat it again several times. Then do the same on the other side. Exercise 10. Shift your body into the kneeling position, your knees under your hips and the palms under your shoulders. Your head is in the prolongation of the spine. The weight of your body is somewhere around the belly button. Press the insteps and the shins into the mat. The elbows away from your body. Release slightly your buttocks, but don't release the abdomen. Stretch the scapulas and imagine then there is something that pushes your breastbone towards the ceiling. Lift slightly one arm above the mat and release it. Then do the same with the other arm. Now try to stretch the lifted arm in front and then release it. Do the same with the other arm. Mind that the balance stays in the center and that the pelvis doesn't move. Don't transfer the weight from one knee to the other one. Similarly, first lift one knee slightly above the mat and release it. Lift the other knee and release it. Now try to lift the knee and extend your leg backwards and then release it. Keep the balance in the center. Draw the elbows out and the scapulas apart. Do the same with the other leg and repeat it several times.